Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 21st of November. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, we're in the home straight. I know I've said it last week. We've been in the home straight for quite some time. But
it's a very long straight.
We're really in the home straight because just 4 weekends to go before the end of the year. Before you can put your little Speedos on, Gary, oil up your body and lie on the beach.
Ooh, I don't know about that image, Phil. I did clean up my
act. A lot of viewers have just switched off.
Talking about the home straight, Moonee Valley on Friday night, Cadmus went down the home straight and won. I went to Moonee Valley.
What, your horse?
Yeah, well, my horse got a little share of it.
So you had a horse at Moonee Valley that won.
Yeah,
and is that what they call a Group 1 race?
Oh, no, it's a bit lower than that.
Is it a Group 2 race?
Yeah, it's a little bit lower than that. We're just
Group
going to keep
3?
going out. We don't worry about groups.
How many groups are there?
It doesn't have to be a name, right? It doesn't have to be a name. Just, it was a little win. It was a bit
thrilled.
Was
it a training session?
And,
training session?
one of the guys I was with were pumping our fists and then he swore and the cameras were on him. I think they edited out what he said because he was very excited at the moment. But anyway, Cadmus. Cadmus could be a good horse.
C-A-D-M-U-S.
Yeah. Do you know what it stands for?
No.
Neither do I. I got no idea. But anyway, I've had a winner. It's very rare and hard to get a winner, Phil.
Yep.
You got a little mark on the side of your nose there. Anything to worry about? On the other side there, Phil? No. Is that... Better go and get it checked out. You know what? The sun now is strong. It's going to start going through in the coming months. So you've got to be careful and sun smart.
You would have seen me last weekend. I had my hat on.
You did.
I had my sun cream on my hands.
You did. Those delicate little hands of yours.
I had sun cream on. You just can't be too careful. Very harsh sun, Australia.
And hot, Phil. It was
very
hot. I'd pulled one auction inside. I thought this would be nice. But Arlene, for some reason, the air conditioning didn't go on, and I love her, but I don't know why we made the air conditioning go on.
She just wanted to dial up the temperature on the sail
and keep it going. Yeah. And I got no problem with that. Anyway, it was a little bit hot and pasty.
I believe you set somewhat of a record in England on the weekend.
We'll get to that, Phil.
Okay,
but it's the first auction.
Steal your glory.
No, not my role, Phil. It's the first auction I've done in my entire life.
Yes.
With no tie on. And I reckon, and I was interested, I asked a few of the people in the audience, I said, look, ties off, are you okay with that?
Yep.
And a few people were non-involved, non-engaged, which means that they either really didn't care what I had to say, or they weren't listening or pay attention, or just
all of those.
Just get on with the auction, or just, really, do you need to waste my entire life asking stupid, self-centered questions like that? So there was a little bit of that.
Yes.
Possibly a bit too much of that. But a few people did nod and think, you know what? It's good with no ties.
Well, funny that you should say that, Gary, because you did come to some of my auctions that I did on Sunday.
I saw you
and
with
Sunday, I had a little bit of a powder blue Ocean's 11 Brad Pitt suit on.
That's as close as you're getting to him. Sorry to break the news. That's as close as you're getting to Brad Pitt, mate.
And I didn't have a tie on, and that's I think that's also my first auction. First auctions without a tie. All I can say, it is so much more pleasurable because if you think about it, viewers, when you got the top button done up, right, and you're projecting your voice, your neck becomes bigger, your veins are bigger, so you kind of got this thing around your neck.
So that's what you've been doing your whole life, you know that. Your whole professional career, you've been having that whole vein-popping, sweating experience.
It was so
liberating.
Much easier
it's
to
liberating.
do it with that. Well, so viewers, stay tuned because I think I might well drop the tie for auctions. Full stop.
Ties off.
Some feedback from you viewers would be great.
Is it? Are we straying from tradition? Are we becoming too informal? Is it a sign of disrespect to have a tie off, or is it about bloody time that we just started showing our human side a little bit more and just being a bit more relaxed? It was up to me.
Trouble is, I've got that much money invested in ties.
Have a grand tie sale, Phil. A grand tie, and sell them to all the stuffy agents.
I'm not sure that anybody would buy a tie anymore. Interestingly, I had a meeting with Jacob in an office in South Yarra.
Jacob being your son, Jacob.
With one of Melbourne's most well-known property developers. And he's a man a bit older than us, Gary, and certainly a very formal fellow. And, I've got a bit of a man crush on him, I don't mind saying, and his name will remain nameless. But he's got the most incredible office, and it's a very stylised office in a beautifully classical way. And lo and behold, Gary, he's sitting there without a tie on. And even he says, you know what, don't wear ties anymore.
What about bow ties? Have you ever done an auction with a bow tie?
Yeah, I've never.
Maybe we should go the other way and just have different types of ties, crazy ties, colourful, wide ties, little short ties like my uncle used to wear.
Or what about those ties where you've got your hand in the pocket and you squeeze and water?
That's it.
That's the bow tie.
It's getting very silly, this edition
Stupid,
now.
stupid
By the way, I
edition.
just want some feedback we've had. Look, he's now, our friend John from America is starting to, the bag. The Gary Peer bag's taken on a life of its own. It's actually conducting performances now, promoting our business in America. So thanks for that, John. Also, just going back, we were negligent last week because Ted, one of our watchers and one of our wonderful friends who absolutely love Ted, but he said, look, I don't think we should be disclosing reserves. He thought they shouldn't be disclosed. Better not to disclose them. I've got to say, Ted, I agree with you on that.
Well, I believe the RERV is yet again conducting some sort of
survey
investigation and survey into disclosing a reserve or not disclosing a reserve.
Yep.
I tell you what, viewers.
What, Philip?
I think we've got to be...
That's on behalf of the viewers.
Yeah.
What, Philip?
I think we've got to be very cautious in a free market economy about making too many rules and regulations.
Australia's very rule-loving,
well,
isn't it?
I think as we edge towards more regulation, I'm not sure that we really want more red tape in this country.
And they can come back to bite you a bit because, Daniel Andrews had a lot of rules about golf and what you can't do, and now it's finally a bit difficult. And do you remember I actually got a voucher before lockdown?
So what Gary's referring to is that apparently Dan Andrews has not got his membership that he applied for down at the Peninsula, some exclusive golf club. Was the Portsea Golf Club?
I don't think it's about exclusiveness. I think it's about the fact that he banned golf. And this is not an anti-Dan Andrews thing. I'm just saying he banned golf. Yeah. And I'm just saying rules can have repercussions. He banned golf. Then he said you can play golf, but you can't go to the toilet. So you just had to, go. So by about the 12th hole, for some of those older blokes with prostate issues, they'd be trying to find a tree or whatever it would be, or God forbid.
Speaking of going to the toilet, and at risk of this show
declining into the gutter yet again,
I had the most lovely experience, and
you cut me off, by the way. Hold your experience because you got me a voucher at an auction to play golf with Daniel Andrews. Remember?
I did. Cost a lot of money.
Bid it. It cost a lot of money. I never claimed it.
Yeah.
And of course that was pre-lockdown and everything, where Dan was the new guy on the block and he looked very different and whatever, and he was probably a little bit less polarising, I would say. Yep. And I had a round book with Dan. I don't know if I can use that anywhere anymore now.
And it was a very exclusive golf club too, as I remember. Anyway, Dan, if you happen to be watching, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. Please ring Gary, take up that golf.
I'll get you on somewhere, Dan.
That golf deal. Yeah.
Not sure I'll be there with you.
I interrupted you. You've finished your story. I'm coming back to the story.
Have you remembered it?
Yeah.
That's good if you remembered it.
I arrived to do an auction in Payne Street on the weekend, which went really well, and that might be one of the ones you were referring to. Yep. Anyway, there is this block, this townhouse development in Payne Street. Yeah. Next door to that is a block of apartments, quite a nice block of apartments.
I know that block.
And anyway, I'm parking my car. And in the good old days, maybe you would have taken a photograph of this and just had a good jolly laugh about it. But there is a little kid with his pants around his ankle, and he's just weeing all over the wall as I'm about to start the auction. And I thought to myself, it was actually a priceless moment, because here we're about to conduct one of the most serious things, the sale of a major asset to people that are about to get into the market, and this little boy just weeing on the wall,
having that moment of freedom
down his ankles. And I thought, what a great photograph it would make, just in context of an auction. And then, can you imagine if I'd photographed that? Not only would I have been cancelled, I'd been arrested, my car would have been egged, and the poor little kid, all he's doing is just having a wee.
And it was fun and it was light, but that would close our business down, basically. Even talking about it could be a problem, Phil.
And even the camera person who is filming at the moment is having a wee chuckle to himself now.
But thinking, you know what, maybe I need to get a different gig than this one, Phil. Look, I had another interesting thing happen to me on the weekend. I met somebody at an auction, had a chat, and this particular person said that when they bought a house from us 21 years ago, you decided at that auction to hold on to their baby, right? You held on to their baby through the auction, and this was 21 years ago, and you conducted the auction, held on to the baby, and sold it to the family who had the baby. Now you've been called in
Yeah.
We're selling that home, and the parents have said, oh, by the way, that's the baby that you held 21 years ago. It's already a
priceless moment.
Grown up.
She was lying on her bed, on her laptop.
Now or then?
Booking concert tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying, well, that's the little baby that you held all those
21 years ago. Amazing.
Gary, when you've been around for a while, and you clearly have because it's showing. When you've been around for a while,
working with you,
you get to see it all. You get to see it all, and
absolutely.
Anyway, beautiful weekend. Tell us some results from the weekend if you wouldn't mind.
Well, why not?
This is
Happy to do that.
Show.
I won't do that, Phil, because I'm going to midweek at the moment.
Right.
Because we had, there's such great stories. This is a great story. This is a really, we see so many interesting things, and it's great to be able to share it on GPTV. But 1 to 4 at 392 Dandenong Road, Caulfield North. That's a beautiful Art Deco block of apartments, magnificent, huge apartments, beautiful block of land. And many, many years ago, we had the pleasure of selling that block of apartments for the most delightful couple who packed up and sometime later went and lived in Tasmania, Philip, as you know. Well, lo and behold, we've had the auction last week, midweek, competitive auction, interesting array of buyers, different buyers, and 3 or 4 buyers keen, 3 bidding, and 1 quite didn't get into the bidding. But the underbidder, Phil, the direct underbidder was the person who used to live there. Yeah. So imagine that, you sell something and then all those years later you think, you know what, wouldn't mind having that property back.
And Andrew, if you're watching, shout out to you because you really are one of the nicest people that we've ever had the fortune of working for. So best of luck to you moving forward, and it was lovely to get reacquainted. Interesting, you see everything in this world, because you've just talked about Andrew being the underbidder who had sold it all those years ago and tried to buy it back. But one of the bidders there on the day came up to me afterwards, a son and his father. So son would have been late 20s, father would have been our age, and the father came up to me and said, do you remember me? And I said, your face looks familiar. And he said, yes, we had an exchange of words in your boardroom many, many years ago.
I don't think we need to
no, we're not going to talk about it, but we did have an exchange of words, and at the end of that exchange of words, we kind of kissed and made up, and we both realised that we were maybe out of line, and this is life's journey. But there he was all those years later, bidding at one of our auctions, and Tony, if you're watching, you are a super bloke, and your son, we're looking forward to doing some work with.
Things come back to you, don't they, after a while? The other interesting thing is that many, many years ago, when that particular person we're talking about, who's in Tasmania, who was the underbidder, he witnessed me purchase a property on behalf of a major institution, a school.
Yes.
In fact. And it was a huge property for many millions of dollars. So I bought this property as representative of the school, went and bid, bought it for the school. And then afterwards, this particular chap came up to me and said, congratulations, they didn't know who I was buying for. I said, do you like my new home, right? Jokingly, because some crazy place that neither of us, with everything we ever earned or could earn, would ever be able to buy. But anyway, he thought I was fair income, and he thought that was the home I was going to buy. And he ended up putting a bottle of wine, taking a bottle of wine, dropping to the office, saying, congratulations, new home. I felt so bad. It's not my home. It's a property I bought for the institution.
Yes, you are a sneaky man, Gary. And that would have to be, of all the stories you've ever told on GPTV, that would have to be the most boring.
The viewers are loving it, Phil, and the fact that you're tuned out is just a sad indictment on your lack of character. And let's move on to the rest of the program.
Come on, let's get into the real estate part, the meat.
Okay, let's do it, Phil. Payne Street, well, we talked a little bit about that, Phil. That was an auction with 2 very strong bidders. Congratulations to the buyer, who's well known to us. But 218 Payne Street sold for $1,350,000, Phil. Was a one of the hot auctions.
There was another property sold in that development, so Payne Street's currently up on screen, I hope. Interestingly, there was a property sold about 12 months ago, virtually identical, sold for 10% less. So it's really interesting to see some price growth in the market over the last 12 months.
And maybe this one was perceived to be better, you never know. You never know. Phil, I want to talk about 485 Kooyong Road. It's not sold, but very interesting story around it, 485 Kooyong Road, because I got there, it's in a great position just opposite, I think, Ludbrook, or just near Ludbrook Avenue down there.
Opposite the Calvary
Opposite the Calvary. And interesting, when I spoke to the vendors, I said, look, I have a feeling, because, we've been around a while, and we know a lot of property. I said, I have a feeling that this property has been held by the same family for a long time. And they said, well, we don't think it's ever been sold. Now, this was a property built in the early 1900s. We're talking maybe 1920s.
Yep.
And to think a home like that's never been sold before is extraordinary. And it is an extraordinary property and good value, we all think.
It is, all of those things. But shame upon the owners for never having sold it. Shame upon those owners for having it for literally almost 130 years.
It's selfish behaviour.
Shame upon you, because we cannot buy pretentious cars or go on European summer holidays if you hold on to your house for that long.
We'll be going Greyhound busing to Geelong for our holidays instead of going up the pointy end of the plane.
One thing that I am going to do over the summer vacation is I'm going to drive down to Geelong and possibly even stay the night in one of those glamorous hotels.
There are some good ones there.
Because apparently Geelong has come ahead leaps and bounds over the last 10 years.
Well, I can introduce
when was the last time you were in Geelong?
Probably when we had our end of year function.
Yeah.
We stopped in Geelong at our end of year function for a part of a bit of an event there. We're on the way to a winery, but I can introduce you to my mate there. You can meet up with him. He'll tell you all the great things to see, because we've got a mate who's an agent there.
What you don't know, as we're recording this, is as I look out the window, there is a police car which says public order response. So if during the latter part of this show, all of a sudden you see us duck under the table, please ring 000. Or actually, you probably don't need to.
If things just black out, it's been nice knowing you anyway. Phil, let's move on to Orong Road, the Gardens of Caulfield. It was called many years ago. We love it, don't we? 8273 Orong Road, four bidders.
This is the most beautiful development. We've sold there. We've probably sold all of the apartments in this building across our journey, but a beautiful building, and goes to show that these older style buildings, Gary, not only retain their value, but they grow strongly.
$796,000, four bidders took that too, Phil, well above our expectation. 2 at 21 Octavius Avenue sold right in the middle of our range, Phil. 12 to 132 was the range, sold for 1260. Congratulations to the vendor, also has owned it since new, and congratulations to the vendor there, who I was at school with, although as he rightly said, I didn't see much of you, and that's because I wasn't really there all that often, or I spent more time in the principal's office than I did in the classroom. Phil, let's move on to Inkerman Road. We talked about that, the price is undisclosed, but that was, if you want to know what's hot in the market, that property was hot in the market.
So having a quick look at that up on screen at the moment, Gary, that's a really good development, though, isn't it? A beautiful position, close to the park, close to public transport, right in the epicentre of North Caulfield, and it's really got everything.
Let's see how long your memory goes back, Phil. 649 to 657 Inkerman Road. It happened to be built in 1987, the 1 year anniversary of our business, and I remember driving past that development, which unfortunately was sold by an agent at the time, Chaim Sharp, he's a lovely guy, but we wanted to get that for sale at the time. The developer wouldn't give it to us. We loved that project then, we love it now, and so do the public, Phil. 29 Aruna Road is an extraordinary property. I bring it to the attention of all viewers, not because it's sold yet, but because it hasn't sold. But I've loved this home.
Oh, it's a beautiful home, Gary. Solid brick, beautiful floor plan, the very best of all luxuries are included in this home. Very high ceilings, beautiful landscape gardens. This home is a standout.
Not yet sold, but it's surely a good opportunity for somebody that may want to buy it. Phil, we've got some lovely auctions coming up this weekend. We're going everywhere from Hughesdale to Ormond, right through to East St Kilda, down to the Bayside, Middle Park as well. Shall we review our auctions?
Let's do it.
Phil, we've got just shy of 30 auctions this weekend, and during the week, we can't wait for the weekend. We've got a property going up on Wednesday in Beresford Street. What a fantastic
Gary,
property.
I love this home. We've sold it before, but our current owners, who are the most beautiful people, have given it a makeover and further improved it. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, Gary, the most beautiful gardens, and a north-facing garden complete with swimming pool and spa.
We love a twilight auction. If you get there on Wednesday, you'll be a day early, because it's actually on Thursday. But that's 1 Beresford Street, a terrific address, Philip. Also on Thursday at 6:30, Leo Samuel is meeting with Christian De Vries, the Hughesdale expert. We've got 3 auctions in Hughesdale coming up this week. Let's talk
Gary,
about Elibana.
A really good single-level home, complete with courtyard gardens, double lock-up garage, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, neat as a pin.
I love an early auction, Phil, and 10 a.m. is the kickstart for me on Saturday, so I better have an early night, have to finish cards a little bit earlier, but I will be there in Dandenong Road, Hughesdale. This is a great looking property.
Gary, again, a single-level villa, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a car space, beautiful decked area, courtyard gardens. When I say court space, it's a lock-up garage, Gary, and beautifully renovated throughout.
Phil and me and Vanessa McGlynn there is another couple of auctions, in fact there's 3 of them. On 10:30 on Saturday morning, let's talk about what else is going on in Dandenong Road, Hughesdale, another one around the corner there.
Viv and Rishi have the auction honours of this 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car-space apartment. Together, it's with beautiful courtyard gardens, so that's a standout and obviously a great location there.
So we're going to be just a few doors away from each other in half an hour, although I think that one might have sold, Phil, or may be sold. 3 York Street is a terrific address, due to go to auction Saturday 10th.
Gary, I love this home and I've got auction honours there. I'm meeting Joel, Reno and Darren. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking for 2 cars and absolutely stunning gardens.
11:30 double auction action. We're going to be in Blenheim Street, Phillip, which is a great address. A 1-bedroom property being auctioned by Jeremy Rosens.
Gary, what a great apartment that is. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and beautiful property, incredible inside, and walking distance, of course, to Carlisle Street and the tram and the train.
Your second auction of a busy Saturday, Phillip, in Rain Street, Caulfield South, a terrific address. You're going to be meeting Mark Kirkham there.
Yes, Gary, love this property. 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, wonderful garden areas, lock-up garage, and Rain Street is a really good spot.
We've got 4 auctions at 12:30. Phillip, let's talk about the one you're going to be doing. You'll be meeting Jan Dosen, just around the corner from Rain Street in Bent Street, Caulfield South. A great looking property.
Great family home. Gary, love this home. A real family special. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, beautiful garden areas, and that gets you into the epicentre of Caulfield South.
Heaven to Dickens, Phillip. We've got an auction in Elwood at 12:30 in Dickens Street. Jeremy Rosens auctions this fine apartment.
Daniel Michmacher has been handling it. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car spaces. And that's an extra large property, Gary, and Dickens Street, well, you've got to love that address.
We kick off our Carnegie Groove at 12:30. Phillip, Leo Samuel's going to be auctioning this wonderful apartment in Neeran Road.
Beautiful building too. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space, immaculate inside, and a generous full width terrace.
Neville Street's at a very nifty location, Phillip. Nifty Neville is 12:30, and that is 2 at 40 Neville Street being auctioned by Graham Callan.
Working with Dan Dyson there, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, plenty of courtyard gardens, lovely timber decked area. That is a wonderful property.
We've got triple auction action at 1:30. We're going to be right in the heartland of St Kilda, Phillip, in Ackland Street this time. 3 at 39 Ackland Street. Jeremy Rosens to auction.
You've got to love that building. Again, working with
building.
Daniel Michmacher, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and Ackland Street. Is there a better address in St Kilda?
There certainly isn't, Phil, but not much better addresses in Caulfield than Cambrook Road, right in the centre of the action. Also 1:30. And this one's being handled by Joel Sir.
You've got everything there, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, car parking for 2 cars, beautiful, absolutely stunning inside, and Cambrook is a wonderful address.
I'm looking forward to heading down the beach, Phil, to Beaconsfield Parade to do my 1:30 auction. Tell us a bit about this terrific apartment.
Well, Gary, Daniel Peer and Arlene Joffe have been handling this 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, but the most incredible sea views from the balcony.
The triple auction action theme continues at 2:30. Phillip, I'm going to be seeing you in Centre Road, this time 814B. Centre Road, Bentley East with Leon Guzman.
Leon and Jan have been handling this property, a beautiful home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, further car parking in front. That is a stunning home.
You don't get all of the East Bentley action to yourself. Leo Samuel's chiming in East Boundary Road for the auction of this wonderful apartment.
Leo Samuel might be doing the auction, but Leo Barr and Daniel Peer have been handling it. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space, a beautiful property.
We go back to Cambrook Road, Phillip, on Saturday afternoon. This time Jeremy Rosens auctions 60B Cambrook Road.
Together with Matt Morley. Gary, that is a stunning home. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 basement car park home, and you've got the joy of having everything on your doorstep, including the new East Caulfield Shopping Centre, the tram in Balaclava Road, the tram to take you anywhere, but you've also got the train station, so facilities galore there.
As there are around Morton Avenue. That's our 3:30 auction, Phillip, and this time Rishi is handling it. Leor is auctioning it in the heart of Carnegie.
Together with Mark, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, great building and an incredible location.
Jasper Road, Ormond is where we'll be bringing down the curtain on a busy Saturday. This time Simon Redolnik gets into some of the action.
Working with Aviv and Mark, again, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. A really good looking building, isn't it?
It sure is, Phil, and talking about good-looking buildings, I used to hang out as a little boy at a good-looking building in Carrington Grove. It was called Ripponlea State School, Phil, and that was the school that I went to. It's still a beautiful little boutique state school, but Phil, and of course grade 4, Ripponlea State School was the best 3 years of my life, Phil.
It's an old joke, but a good one.
Let's move on to Carrington Grove at 10:30am. We're opening our account on Sunday, this time at 26 Carrington Grove.
Gary, this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, but you could easily improve or extend this home, but it does sit on 580 square metres of land, so you've got the dual opportunity of, are you buying it for the land, are you buying it for the house, are you buying it for a combination of the two, but it is the most incredible location.
Back in Kooyong Road, Philip, at 11:30am. That's 526 Kooyong Road. I've got the auction honours for this terrific property.
Leon and Ben Eisner have got that property, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking for 3 cars or even more. That's a great location, a great home.
Great looking home too. Philip, Multan Avenue is one of the fine secrets of East St Kilda, Philip. A beautiful, tree-lined, windy avenue in a great location. Jeremy Rosens is auctioning this apartment.
It's also a no-through road, so whilst it's walking distance to the best facilities, it's just so quiet. And this is a super extra large apartment. It's 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms and a car space. A really good building, but that apartment would be significantly bigger than the average.
Double auction action at 12:30, Philip. We're going to be at 4 Bethel Street, Ormond. Sally Zellman's been handling this great property.
She has, Gary, together with Joel, Daniel and Kevin. That's 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3 car spaces and on 673 square metres of prime land.
We just had an auction in Carawina that was very popular, and so should this one be, Philip. 6A Carawina Road, I should say, in Caulfield South. Jeremy Rosen's auctions.
Great way to get into the market, Gary, because it's affordable. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That's a great property, and we love Carawina.
Double auction action at 1:30, Philip. We're going to be at 26 Heatherbrae Avenue. Joel Sir's been handling this fine-looking property.
He has, together with Darren and Reno. This is a great home, 5 bedrooms and a study, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking for up to 3 cars, and on 657 square metres of land.
Leo Samuel's going to be in Latrobe Court, Philip, which is a terrific address. This one goes to auction at 1:30.
Gary, love this home. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3 car spaces. The Samuel brothers are coming to town, Leo and Aviv. They love it.
Look out, Phil. At 2:30, there's an apartment being auctioned that you've had some involvement with, and you're going to be the auctioneer for it. 7 at 162 Balaclava
Gary,
Road.
this is an apartment, but I describe it as a penthouse because it's one that sits at the top of the building, and it is incredible. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, an undercover car space. It's got a whole Scandi feel to it, polished timber floorboards. It is beautiful and very large.
We've saved one of our best for last, Philip, and this one is in Inkerman Road in Caulfield North. We're talking 553 Inkerman Road. Tell us about this terrific looking home with a swimming pool.
It is a beautiful home. Darren, Daniel and Reno have been handling this. 4 bedrooms and a study, 3 bathrooms. You've got everything that opens and shuts, including a beautiful swimming pool. That's a glorious home on 630 square metres of land.
Before we go, Phil, there's one property I want to talk about. This is an extraordinary property, and I guess we look at that block of 4 that we sold on Dandenong Road, those Art Deco apartments, so hard to get. But there is one more of those, Philip, and it's at Dickens Street. This is the most magnificent property. I mean, Dickens Street, we know, is part of the Elwood Bayside groove, so much going on. But I love this beautiful block of apartments, Philip. The apartments have been improved, some a lot, some a little. But take us through this 1 to 4 at 41A Dickens Street.
Well, I think you've summarised it, Gary. 4 apartments and a beautiful clinker brick, old-fashioned looking building, but, in immaculate condition. If you're looking for an investment or you're getting together with a group of people to buy one individually each, the flexibility of a property like that is incredible. So hard to find these small blocks on a good parcel of land.
It is indeed, Phil, and that's a big wrap. That's bada boom, bada bim. That's a big wrap on GPTV. That is all. I won't see you next week or yourselves because you'll be co-hosted by a mystery guest. But it's always good to bring all the news to the marketplace. The market was a pretty tough weekend. Things did not sell as well as they have been, but everything gets sold in good areas like this.
It was a tough weekend, Gary. I think it was just a typical November where you've got a lot more stock on the market, a bit of buyer fatigue coming in. I think it was pretty normal. So I'm going to end on a positive note. Thanks, viewers, for watching. Philip Kingston's my name. Have a great week.
See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.